Leonidas I was born on 540 BC, died August 11, 480 BC. He was king of the ancient Greek city-state of Sparta. He was the son of King Xerxes II and the 17th king of the Agiad dynasty, a Spartan royal house which claimed descent from Heracles. Leonidas I ascended to the throne in c. 489 BC, succeeding his half-brother King Cleomenes I. He ruled jointly along with King Leonidas II until his death in 480 BC, when he was succeeded by his son, Pleistarchus. Leonidas I, c. 540–480 BC, was a renowned Spartan king of the Agiad dynasty who famously led a small Greek force, including 300 Spartans, against the massive Persian army of Xerxes I at the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC. Though killed in the battle, his courageous last stand became a lasting symbol of bravery and resistance. Key details about Leonidas I. Reign and background. He became the 17th Agiad king of Sparta around 490–489 BC following the death of his half-brother, Cleomenes I. The Battle of Thermopylae. During the Second Persian invasion, Leonidas led allied Greek forces to hold the narrow pass of Thermopylae. Upon discovering they were being flanked, he sent most troops away but stayed with 300 Spartans and a small contingent of allies to fight to the death. Known for his defiance, he reportedly told the Persians to come and take their weapons, Mol and Lab. His sacrifice allowed other Greek forces to regroup and eventually defeat the Persians. He was married to Queen Gorgo and was succeeded by his son, Pleistarchus. According to Herodotus, Leonidas' mother was not only his father's wife, but also his father's niece and had been barren for so long that the ephors, the 5 annually elected administrators of the Spartan constitution, tried to prevail upon King Xerxes II to set her aside and take another wife. Xerxes refused, claiming his wife was blameless, whereupon the ephors agreed to allow him to take a second wife without setting aside his first. This second wife, a descendant of Chelon of Sparta, one of the 7 sages of Greece, promptly bore a son, Cleomenes. However, 1 year after Cleomenes' birth, Xerxes' first wife also gave birth to a son, Dorius. Leonidas was the second son of Xerxes' first wife, and either the elder brother or twin of Cleombrotus. Leonidas' name means, descendant of Leon, and he was named after his grandfather Leon of Sparta. King Xerxes II died in c. 524 BC, and Cleomenes succeeded to the throne sometime between then and 516 BC. Dorius was so outraged that the Spartans had preferred his half-brother over himself that he found it impossible to remain in Sparta. He made one unsuccessful attempt to set up a colony in Africa and, when this failed, sought his fortune in Sicily, where after initial successes he was killed. Leonidas' relationship with his bitterly antagonistic elder brothers is unknown, but he married Cleomenes' daughter, Gorgo, sometime before coming to the throne in 490 BC. Leonidas was heir to the Agiad throne, successor of Cleomenes I, and a full citizen, Homoios, at the time of the Battle of Thermopylae against Argos, c. 494 BC. Likewise, he was a full citizen when the Persians sought submission from Sparta and met with vehement rejection in 492–491 BC. His elder half-brother, King Cleomenes, had already been deposed on grounds of purported insanity, and had fled into exile when Athens sought assistance against the first Persian invasion of Greece, that ended at Marathon, 490 BC. The Spartans throw Persian envoys into a well. Plutarch wrote, when someone said to him, "Except for being king you are not at all superior to us," Leonidas son of Xerxes and brother of Cleomenes replied, "But were I not better than you, I should not be king." The product of the Agiad, Leonidas was unlikely to have been referring to his royal blood alone but rather suggesting that, like his brother Dorius, he had proved himself superior in the competitive environment of Spartan training and society, thus making him qualified to rule. Leonidas was chosen to lead the combined Greek forces determined to resist the Second Persian invasion of Greece in 481 BC. This was not simply a tribute to Sparta's military prowess. The probability that the coalition wanted Leonidas personally for his capability as a military leader is underlined by the fact that just 2 years after his death, the coalition preferred Athenian leadership to the leadership of either Leotychidas or Leonidas' successor, as regent for his still underaged son, Pausanias. The rejection of Leotychidas and Pausanias was not a reflection on Spartan arms. Sparta's military reputation had never stood in higher regard, nor was Sparta less powerful in 478 BC than it had been in 481 BC. This selection of Leonidas to lead the defense of Greece against Xerxes' invasion led to Leonidas' death in the Battle of Thermopylae in 480 BC. Battle of Thermopylae. Achaemenid king killing a Greek hoplite. Circa 500 BC, 475 BC, at the time of Xerxes I, Metropolitan Museum of Art. Xerxes waited 4 days to attack, hoping the Greeks would disperse. Finally, on the 5th day the Persians attacked. Leonidas and the Greeks repulsed the Persians' frontal attacks during the 5th and 6th days, killing roughly 10,000 of the enemy troops. The Persian elite unit known to the Greeks as the Immortals was held back, and 2 of Xerxes' brothers, Abracomes and Hyperants, died in battle. On the 7th day, August 11th, a Malian Greek trader named Ephialtes led the Persian general Hydarnes by a mountain track to the rear of the Greeks. At that point Leonidas sent away most of the Greek troops and remained in the pass with his 300 Spartans, 900 Helots, 400 Thebans and 700 Thespians. The Thespians stayed entirely of their own will, declaring that they would not abandon Leonidas and his followers. Their leader was Demophilus, son of Diadromes, and as Herodotus writes, hence they lived with the Spartans and died with them. One theory provided by Herodotus is that Leonidas sent away the remainder of his men because he cared about their safety. The king would have thought it wise to preserve those Greek troops for future battles against the Persians, but he knew that the Spartans could never abandon their post on the battlefield. The soldiers who stayed behind were to protect their escape against the Persian cavalry. Herodotus believed that Leonidas gave the order because he perceived the allies to be disheartened and unwilling to encounter the danger to which his own mind was made up. He therefore chose to dismiss all the troops except the Thebans, Thespians and Helots and save the glory for the Spartans. Of the small Greek force, which was attacked from both sides, all were killed except for the 400 Thebans, who surrendered to Xerxes without a fight. When Leonidas was killed, the Spartans retrieved his body after driving back the Persians 4 times. Herodotus says that Xerxes' orders were to have Leonidas' head cut off and put on a stake and his body crucified. This was considered sacrilegious. Legacy. A hero cult of Leonidas survived in Sparta until the Antonine era, 2nd century AD. Leonidas I were solemnities celebrated every year in Sparta in honor of Leonidas and only Spartans were allowed to take part. The contest was held opposite the theatre at Sparta where there were the 2 sepulchral monuments of Pausanias and Leonidas.